BIP, Jonathon Johnson is on the show for the wrong reasons. August 8, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bachelor Nation News fans. Bachelor in Paradise star Jonathon Johnson seems to be there for the wrong reasons. Fans are not impressed with how he has been acting on the show. However, they think there are other reasons he could be there, and it is not to find a girlfriend. Jonathon is known for his time on Jen Tran's season of The Bachelorette. Has he moved on? Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Jonathon Johnson makes big moves to get him here. Jonathon Johnson made a lasting impression on The Bachelorette. He pulled up in a hospital gown and his face was covered. This was something for viewers to remember. However, he ended up making it far on the season. Fans enjoyed him on the show. Afterwards, he and Jen Tran were close again and seemed to have made a good friendship out of it all. He supported her throughout her entire journey on Dancing with the Stars, so fans were excited to see him on BIP. They were hoping he could find true love since he did not find it with Jen. However, that does not seem to be going as planned. He is on Bachelor in Paradise for the wrong reasons. Fans are now thinking that Jonathon is on Bachelor in Paradise for the wrong reasons. He does not seem to have any good connections, and this does not make fans feel great about his intentions. Then, BIP, he friend-zoned Alexi, Jill, even Allie Joe, who was super into him, and treats Leah like a placeholder at best. It kind of seemed like he wanted Kat, but it was really him just trying to get a Rose to stay. Though I think the producers know this too. Why else would April just waste her rose on him? What gets me is, can he at least pretend even a little he is interested in anyone? Does he want clout? Just want to be on TV? He just wants to be on TV and parlay every show into an appearance on an even bigger stage. I'm kind of shocked he hasn't chosen to go home. He hasn't found any connection that he wants to pursue, so him staying makes no sense. Yikes, this is not a good look for Jonathon. It seems as though Jonathon is rubbing fans the wrong way. Viewers do not think he seems interested in finding a girlfriend. It could be because he came on the show for fame and money instead. However, it could also be that he is not feeling any of the connections. Regardless, fans are not loving him on the show and would not mind if he went home. What do you think about this situation? Do you think he is there for the wrong reasons? Sound off in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts on this situation. Jonathon Johnson is on the show for the wrong reasons, and the evidence is piling up. The Paradise Illusion. When Bachelor in Paradise season rolled around this year, viewers were buzzing with anticipation. The sun-drenched beaches, the clinking margaritas, the over-the-top love confessions. It's reality TV comfort food. But no one expected Jonathon Johnson, the former fan favorite from his debut season of The Bachelorette, to be at the center of one of the most controversial storylines the franchise has seen in years. From the moment he stepped off the boat, his smile was dazzling, his confidence was off the charts, and his Instagram followers spiked by tens of thousands. But eagle-eyed fans started whispering on Reddit and X, formerly Twitter, almost immediately. Something about Jonathon feels off this season. He's playing a long game, not a love game. He's here for a brand deal, not a relationship. By week 2, the whispers had grown into full-blown speculation that Jonathon Johnson was not in Paradise for love, he was in it for exposure, clout, and a carefully orchestrated post-show career move. From fan favorite to question mark. Jonathon's origin story is well worn by now. A charming newcomer on The Bachelorette, he captured the audience's attention with his gentlemanly demeanor, his "I'm just a regular guy" backstory, and his supposed vulnerability about past heartbreak. But behind the scenes, sources claim he was already plotting his next move. He was nice enough, but even on The Bachelorette, he would talk about building his personal brand. A former contestant spilled anonymously to Reality Scoop. He knew how many followers he had at every moment. He'd literally ask producers how certain edits might play online. It's not unusual for contestants to have one eye on their public image. This is, after all, a reality TV franchise that has birthed multiple influencers, podcast hosts, and even country music stars. But with Jonathon, insiders say it was different. It was strategic, one crew member claimed. He wasn't talking about love as much as he was talking about algorithms. The red flags in paradise. When Jonathon first appeared on the BIP beach, he wasted no time mingling. But it wasn't just who he was mingling with, it was how. 1. The camera magnet. On multiple occasions, viewers noticed Jonathon positioning himself in the background of high-drama conversations, subtly stepping into frame, laughing just a little louder when cameras were pointed his way, and often placing himself in the center of group shots. Social media called it the Where's Waldo effect. You could almost always spot him lurking in the scene. "He's not even in this love triangle, but somehow he's there," one fan tweeted. "Guys got a sixth sense for lens placement." 2. The convenient connections. Jonathon's dating strategy also raised eyebrows. Instead of pursuing one genuine connection, he seemed to sample multiple women, all of whom happened to have large followings of their own. First, it was Kendra, a model with a booming TikTok presence. Then Sierra, an ex-pageant queen who had just launched her own lifestyle brand. And finally, he was spotted getting cozy with influencer-turned-entrepreneur Mallory. "He doesn't have a type," a fellow contestant said in a post-show interview. "He has a networking strategy." 3. The product placement slip-up. One of the most damning moments came during episode 5, when Jonathon was filmed making a smoothie for Mallory. On the counter, front and center, was a bag of protein powder from a brand he'd been rumored to have a paid partnership with. The label was perfectly facing the camera. Coincidence? Fans didn't think so. "LMO, he's literally doing SpawnCon in paradise," a Redditor posted, with over 4,000 upvotes. The social media breadcrumbs. If his on-screen behavior wasn't enough, Jonathon's social media activity during filming, or rather, the moment filming wrapped, sealed the suspicion for many viewers. Within hours of returning from paradise, Jonathon's Instagram exploded with professional photo shoots featuring tropical backdrops eerily similar to the BIP beach. Cryptic captions like, "Sometimes you find love, sometimes you find opportunity." Collaborations with brands he'd never been linked to before, including that same protein powder, a sunglasses company, and a travel agency. One fan summed it up. "He came to the beach single, left the beach single, but his influencer career? Oh, that's in a relationship now." The cast's growing frustration. Multiple contestants have hinted, sometimes subtly, sometimes not, that Jonathon's motives were less than pure. Sierra told Paradise Podcast, "I just think some people were there for different reasons. Some were there to find love. Some were there to find content." Mallory went further in an Instagram Q&A. "We had a good time, but I realized quickly that our conversations were more about engagement, not the kind with a ring." And then there was Kendra, who bluntly commented on a fan's post, "I can't speak for him, but I didn't feel like his intentions matched his words." Producers in a tough spot. Insiders claim the producers were aware of Jonathon's antics, but hesitated to cut him because, simply put, he was good television. His charm, his subtle manipulations, and the controversy swirling around him made for compelling content. In the world of reality TV, a polarizing figure can be ratings gold. But there's a fine line between entertaining and manipulative, and according to several crew members, Jonathon was testing that boundary daily. Jonathon's defense. In a recent podcast appearance, Jonathon pushed back against the narrative. "Look, everyone comes on these shows knowing it's on TV. Yes, I'm mindful of my career, but that doesn't mean I wasn't open to finding love. Just because it didn't happen doesn't mean my intentions weren't real." When asked directly about the protein powder moment, he laughed. "That was literally just the brand I use. I wasn't even thinking about the cameras." Fans weren't convinced. The comments section was flooded with skepticism. "Bro, you angled the label better than you angled for a kiss." "Just own it, man." "Next time, bring a tripod." The bigger conversation. Jonathon's situation has sparked a larger debate among BIP fans. Is it even realistic to expect contestants to join purely for love anymore? Or has the franchise evolved into a platform where love is just one possible byproduct, alongside brand deals, podcast gigs, and influencer fame? A longtime viewer wrote on Reddit, "It's a symbiotic relationship. The show gives them exposure. They give the show drama. Real love stories are rare now, but when they happen, they're magic." The aftermath. By the reunion episode, Jonathon was single but smiling, wearing a designer linen shirt and hinting at big projects coming up. He avoided most direct questions about his motives, instead pivoting to vague reflections about growth and learning who he is. And sure enough, within weeks, Jonathon announced he was launching his own travel lifestyle YouTube channel, complete with a sponsorship from, you guessed it, that protein powder brand. Conclusion: wrong reasons, right results. Jonathon Johnson may not have found love in paradise, but he certainly found something: visibility, brand deals, and a boosted platform. Whether you see that as opportunistic or simply savvy depends on how you view Bachelor in Paradise in 2025. As one fan put it, he played the game he wanted to play, and honestly, he won, just not the prize the show was advertising.